today we have a holster review. I don't think I've ever done a holster review on this channel before, but today we have the Agis Elite from Tier 1 Concealed. These type of holsters are very popular this day and age. All the kids are wearing them. They are the type that has the magazine attached to the holster for the firearm. So, why would I review this? I have put this holster off, or holsters like this off, for a long time. A while ago, I tried a similar variant of this style holster, and I didn't like it. There wasn't much retention on it. There was a lot of excess kydex. It just wasn't comfortable. I felt like I was shoving a huge trash can lid down the front of my pants. So I wanted to try this. I reached out to Tier 1. They sent me this to try out, to review. Thank you, Tier 1. Those guys over there are great. They're shooters as well. They shoot a lot. They're 2A supporters. They're just a bunch of great guys. Go check Tier 1 Concealed out. Even if you don't want to buy a holster, go subscribe to their Instagram and anything else they do, because, again, they're just really great guys. Their holster, let's start out with what it's good at. Obviously, you're getting a lot here. You're getting your spare mag attached to your gun. It is removable. They have a snap system here. So if you don't want to run these together, you don't have to. You can run this just as a standalone unit or run them both, but you can place them wherever you want on your body. So the snap system does give some flexibility if you try this out and end up don't liking the fact that you have this large of a unit stuffed down the front of your pants. So snap system, pops on, pops off, pretty self-explanatory, very, very easy to use. For how big this is, it conceals very well. I ran it under a t-shirt, button-down shirt. It really did a good job of concealing a full-size handgun and a mag with an extension. It did a good job concealing it, and that's because it has a couple of things. It obviously has a wing over here on the right. Wings are very popular on holsters these days. That kind of tucks the butt of the gun and doesn't allow it to slide at all to your body. That is a huge plus on a holster. I'm a big fan of wings on holsters. On the other side, which I haven't had a lot of experience with again, is this ridge that they added right here. It's kind of nubbed and textured, and that kind of runs right under your belt and kind of connects to it, hugs it a little bit, and tucks this back a little bit as well. So it hugs very snugly to the body. So much so where it almost creates a little bit of a ridge. There's some space between the actual system here and your belt or shirt. And to the trained eye, you might be able to pick up on it, but for most people out there, you wouldn't see much at all. So those two things right here, I can tell you, really helped conceal this holster. Kept it in place, didn't move around, just kind of pushed it back, hugged it to your body. A really, really nice design, and almost a necessity, I think, if you're going to conceal this much firepower under a t-shirt or a button-down shirt. Retention is a big deal for me. I like a lot of retention. I know a lot of holsters these days almost have no retention. People like basically to drop their handgun inside of a bucket, and I'm not about that. I want retention. I want to be able to grab onto that handgun and make a conscious effort to pull it out of there. I'm not trying to set any land speed records with a draw stroke. I want a fast draw stroke, but I don't want to compromise it either. And I don't want anyone else getting a hold of my gun, getting it out of my holster any easier than they need to be able to. Also, if I'm rolling around, lifting stuff, just general activity, I don't want this falling out. So for me, I like a good bit of retention. That's just me. Some guys want it nice and loose. That's okay, to each their own. But on this, I can tell you that there is solid retention, and it's adjustable. You can adjust the retention on your handgun side and the magazine side. So maybe if you want your magazine to be a little bit more loose and free and your handgun to be tighter retention, you can do that. I like both pretty strong, and for me, I'm gonna want adjustable retention on a holster because I like to set it pretty darn stout. The Agis Elite's gonna come with optics cut, so if you're running a dot, doesn't matter what kind of dot, you're gonna be able to stick your gun in there, provided it's the right model holster for it, and the channel for suppressor height sights. if you run iron sights like a peasant. As you can see, got an RMR on here, and there's a little bit of gap there. If you had a dot a little further forward, or maybe like an aim point acro on there or something like that, or maybe a T1, aim point T1 if people are still doing that, I'm pretty confident that it would still work. This day and age, I think it would be pretty silly for holster manufacturers not to have an optics cut on their holster. Everybody's switching to dots, or at least it's becoming very, very popular to do that. And same thing with suppressor height sights. So that's incorporated into the Agis Elite, no brainer for me, and that is a huge plus to have those two features. Okay, so like I said in the beginning of the video, I had a bad experience running a holster of this style in the past. I didn't like it. So how did I like running the Agis Elite? It is comfortable and concealable for how big it is. I was very surprised by that. This is a lot of gun and a lot of magazine, again, to be wearing at the front of your body. It concealed very nice, and if I wasn't doing any drastic movements, running around, lifting, bending over, you know, your basic exercise movements, let's say, it was a very comfortable holster. When I got into running, lifting, holding my children, bending down to pick up my kids, that's when it got uncomfortable. And that's probably because this is a lot of stuff, again, shoved in your pants. One caveat though, if I could disconnect the holster from the magazine and run these separately, it was actually very, very comfortable and still as concealable. This could totally be a body type issue. The big challenge with holster manufacturers is that they need to create a holster that is a general fit for most of the population. They can't fine-tune it to one certain body type. They are trying to fit a lot of body types. So running this in tandem maybe just wasn't for me. I know a lot of guys do it. If you don't know who Embrace the Recoil is, Ryan over at Embrace the Recoil has done a couple reviews on Tier 1 holsters. Go check out his YouTube channel. Great content. He loves wearing holsters like this. They work for him. For me, I couldn't really do it. I could run it standalone or I could run it split, no problem. And that's probably what I'll continue to do, just run it split, not together. Gives me a little bit more movement, a little bit more flexibility. When I was riding in a car with this connected, it was pretty comfortable as long as I pulled it up a little bit and kind of set it before I started driving. Didn't feel any discomfort, still was very concealable. Again, it was just when I had a lot of movement in my day-to-day routine that this right here started to wear on me. So I'm just being honest with you guys. I tried it. I don't think this setup right here is for me. Doesn't take away from the fact that these are well-built holsters and mag carriers. I can't say enough good things about them. They obviously have put a lot of thought into it. And again, the guys over at Tier 1, they are shooters. They shoot regularly. They carry guns regularly. They know what they're talking about. So leave me a comment down below if you guys have ever tried a holster like this before. I want to hear from you guys. Is it just me? Is it a body type thing? Let me know down in the comments. Again, I want to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate all that support. You guys are great. Subscribing to our YouTube channel, buying stuff on wisemancompany.com. It's just been great. Thank you so much for all that support. My name is Ben. We'll see you on the next video.